Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hello, my name is Ben Thomas and you're watching Combat Sports UK. Today, I'm joined by the future of Welsh mixed martial arts. It's 16-year-old Ioan Thomas who returns to competition this Saturday at Cage Warriors Academy, Wales. First things first, Ioan, most important question of the day. How are you doing at the moment? How is life treating you?
Yeah, I'm all right at the minute. I'm excited for the weekend, obviously. Just can't wait to get back in there. And life's been good, yeah. Just training hard, working hard, focused. And can't wait to step back in there Saturday, you know.
How's the weight cut going for you? Is your body nice and healthy? Are you feeling good ahead of Saturday night?
Yeah. Obviously, we've been dieting, but that always goes well. I got good people around me that help me with stuff like that. And yeah, I feel fit, I feel strong, I feel in good shape, and I'm ready.
That's what we love to hear before the return. And we will get onto the return in a moment, but we're just going to cast our minds back a few months ago. Let's talk about your last outing. It was a decision victory against Malachi Lynch, who, as we know, is a very experienced veteran on the amateur scene. I was fortunate enough to be there cage side for that bout, and it's got to be said, it was utterly dominant. You seemed to walk him down, push him back against the fence with ease, ragdoll him to the ground, and just dominate him wherever you wanted to. When you watch that fight back, what do you make of it? How do you assess that performance from yourself on the night?
First of all, I am happy in one sense with my performance because, like you said, I dominated in all areas when we were striking, when we was boxing, when we was kickboxing, when we was wrestling, when we was clinching. I dominated in every area. But I think it was an error on my part that I didn't get a finish. I believe in our third round, I should have finished him. I know I could have finished him. But yeah, respect to him. He's a durable opponent. It was a mistake on my part, so we look to fix that this time.
However, it's got to be said, if you look at the judges' scorecards on the night, it was very close. I mean, I think it was a split decision. Correct me if I'm wrong. One judge scored it in favour of Malachi Lynch, or it was very close. But Jack Shaw was reassuring you cage side, and I could see that you were kind of visibly confused. When the scorecards were being read out, were you confident your hand was going to get raised? Because, I mean, it was a dominant victory.
Yeah, so looking back now, I 100% should have known that I won. First of all, I thought I had the decision because in my head, the fight had gone to plan and I won all 3 rounds. And my coach was like, yeah. And then I heard our split decision. I was thinking, well, perhaps sometimes, you know, when you're in a fight, you don't know if you've seen the fight wrong but I've watched it back and I don't know if I'm, without being biased, I don't know where that decision for Malachi come into it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that it confused me like crazy. But does it help to have someone so experienced like Jack Shaw, cage side, giving you the nod, letting you know you've won?
Yeah. I was worried at first, and I looked over at Jack, and he told me, I was like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
I was never in doubt. I was never in doubt with Jack's decision. I was just didn't know if the judges had seen it the same way, if I'm honest. But
I mean, I don't know how anyone would have scored it in favour of Malachi Lynch. It was one of the most dominant victories on the night. But after that victory at Cage Warriors Academy 7, you were scheduled to scrap at Cage Warriors 142. However, you picked up COVID-19 a few weeks beforehand. How disappointed were you that you had to withdraw from quite possibly one of the biggest nights in Cage Warriors Academy history in Wales?
That has been the lowest part of my year, if I'm honest. I literally, psychologically, it was hard. It was hard on me physically, obviously, with COVID, but psychologically, missing out on that, it broke me. And then, obviously, I was well enough to come and watch the event. And
yeah, it was a difficult one, wasn't it? How did you feel? Because, I mean, you literally had to pull out the week before. You must have been in fight camp for a while. You must have been feeling nice and fit. And then you were dealt with this monster blow of COVID-19.
Yeah, like I said, I was extremely down. But then I believe everything happens for a reason. So that's one way to look.
But yeah, fight camp was going well. I was looking forward. Obviously, it's the biggest kind of platform I'd fought on at the time. Alongside a lot of my teammates, it was probably the biggest night in Welsh MMA, but it wasn't meant to be, was it? So next time it comes around, it was.
On the other hand, though, you did just mention you had recovered from COVID-19 by the time the card had to come around and you were in attendance. What did you think of the card? What did you make of the whole production value of the Cage Warriors experience?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It always is brilliant. Obviously, it was a different setup than normal to the academy shows, but yeah, I enjoyed being there at the venue, supporting all my teammates. All my teammates looked on fire though, didn't they? Obviously, really proud of them. Maybe a bit biased, but really proud of them as always. Little tiny bit jealous I couldn't fight on it, but like I said, it is what it is.
I mean, we're going to get onto your teammates now. You had a few on the cards who had their ham raised, and unfortunately, a few who just fell short. But I wanted to touch upon the co-main event of the night, Oban Elliott. It was a sensational atmosphere from the second Gangster's Paradise played on his walkout, and probably the most impressive performance we've seen from Oban Elliott in a long time. What did you make of the atmosphere and his performance?
Yeah, the atmosphere was good as always, as a lot of the Welsh fans get behind all the fighters, all the Welsh boys, especially from CWA, and they're always extremely vocal. But yeah, I thought Oban did really well. I think probably his best performance to date, if I'm honest. I still don't think he showed what he is capable of, because what we see in the gym, he is capable of a lot more. But that's the best performance, and I'm proud of him.
And now let's talk about your return this Saturday, Cage Warriors Academy Wales. How are you feeling ahead of Saturday night? Are there any nerves maybe going into this one, or are you just excited to be back on there on the big stage and performing in front of your home crowd?
Yeah, I can't wait to just get back out there, put a performance on for the crowd, and get back operating. Like, obviously, on the day they'll be them initial butterflies where I want to win, but at this point, there's nothing.
And let's talk about your opponent for a minute. You are taking on Zana Calorie of Gloucester Range, who's 3-2 as an amateur and has strung together back-to-back KO wins. So he's clearly a very dangerous guy going into Saturday night. Have you seen much of your opponent heading into this fight? And if so, what do you think he'll bring come Saturday?
Yeah, he's from a good gym. He's dangerous in every area. He looks physically strong in every area, but it's not. I don't think it's nothing that I am dealt with in the gym. Obviously, I got a lot of talented fighters that I'm working with, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I think I'm better in every area, and I can't wait to go out and perform.
Have you got a specific game plan coming into Saturday night? Do you want to get the early stoppage, or do you maybe want to collect some minutes in the cage? Where does your mind go when you think about Saturday?
If it goes to decision, that won't be on purpose. I'm going to try and finish, but I respect him. He's extremely good opponent, and I'm not overlooking anyone. If I have to try and grind it out, I will. Because I'm aware he's extremely dangerous, but I'm always looking for the finish if I can.
And if everything goes to plan, you will maintain your undefeated record and move to 5-0 at just 16 years of age. I know I mention it every single interview we do, but it still blows my mind that you're, 5-6 years younger than me? That's crazy. But I know you're not a fighter who overlooks an opponent, but when would you be looking to get back into the cage?
Early next year then, because I've had a hard year this year. I've had 6 fight camps and 5 fights in 12 months come October. I'm going to stay in the gym, but just give my time body to heal, and then just work techniques and get better. So early next year, I'll come back a different fighter altogether.
That's what we love to hear. Have a lovely, nice Christmas break, yeah. And let's actually talk about the gym now. The one and only Shore MMA, the home of countless killers and participants of this weekend's card. How much of a boost is it for you and the other lads to be fighting on the same card? Does it help you as a gym knowing that you're going into Saturday night together?
Yeah, like, obviously it's a much better feeling when a few rules on the card, but I think it's still a team feeling when you're fighting by yourself too, because the team always come and support. Obviously, you have your coaches, and like you said, we fight even though we're still a team at the end of the day.
And obviously, it wouldn't be a Ioan Thomas interview with asking about these comments from Richard Shaw. Every time we discuss yourself with Richard, he claims that you will become one of the best Welsh mixed martial artists Wales has ever seen. And with the likes of Jack Shaw, Brett Johns, Oban Elliott, Mason Jones, Lewis Long, the list goes on and on. How much of a compliment is it to be recognised as one of the biggest prospects this country has to offer?
Yeah, I just take it in my stride. I'm really happy that Richard has that confidence in me, and yeah, like I said, it's not overwhelming because I got to take it in my stride. If I allow it to overwhelm me, that's when things start to go wrong. It's one fight at a time, when we see where we are.
I mean, you are only 16 years of age. And for a lot of 16-year-olds out there, I'm sure those type of comments, that sort of praise will kind of debuckle them, maybe derail them, get them off track a bit. Do those comments ever add pressure to you, or do they just give you an added motivation?
No, just an added motivation. I take it in my stride, and it is what it is. Just hope to prove him wrong. Prove him right now. Prove his support right.
Well, let's hope that you will become better than Roy Keane, because he was the best every day, twice on a Sunday. If you know Richard Shaw, you'll know that. I don't know what it's about, but I had to mention that. But let's try and get into yourself a bit. What is one thing that mixed martial arts has taught you as a person?
It's helped me all throughout. It's hard to pinpoint one thing because growing up, being around her every day has helped me in all aspects of life, especially confidence and stuff like that. So growing up around in them areas, it's just helped me in all ways, if I'm honest.
And next, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? I mean, in 5 years, you're only going to be 21. Where do you see yourself when you're 21, when you're 26? Where do you see yourself? Maybe in a specific promotion, holding a belt? Where do you see yourself?
Definitely by 26, I'd like to be in the UFC by then, and hopefully by 21, I could be up the top of Cage Warriors rankings professionally too.
So me and Levi had a conversation yesterday. It was kind of interesting. We were speaking about the blueprint that's kind of been created by the likes of Jack, Oban, Brett, where they've gone to Cage Warriors and they're working their way up to the bigger promotions. If there was an opportunity to go to Bellator and kind of go away from the blueprint that's already been created, would you take the opportunity, or are you looking to stay on track with what Jack and Oban and Brett have done?
I'd like to continue with the blueprint that they've all and following these footsteps that they've already created, if I'm honest.
Yeah. And finally, for those out there listening now who maybe haven't seen you fight before, what should they expect when you step into the cage on Saturday night at Cage Warriors Academy Wales?
Just wherever the fight goes, I'll be ready. I'll be the best version of myself, I promise that. And let's hope we get a victory, guys. I'm sure we will.
And on my behalf, expect fireworks and violence from this kid, because I swear to God, he is an animal. But there we have it, Ioan. Those are all the questions I have for you today. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with us. You can check out Cage Warriors Academy Wales on Fight World TV Saturday night, or you can find tickets over on Cage Warriors Academy Wales social media. We wish you the best of luck for fight night, and we'll catch up with you after, I'm sure of it.
Cheers, Ben.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.